started. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. Did you get a handout? Did you pick one up off of there? They're right there on the corner of that little. No worries. No worries. Everybody's welcome. All right. So. Excellent. Thank you. Just down here.
Do you need a pillow? I have it sitting on my purse.
I don't. I'm great. Thank you. I actually liberated a pillow to sit over here, so I am good. But all right. So let's just take a minute. Let's just take a deep breath and put our feet on the floor and just feel ourselves here in this room, seated on these nice, comfy chairs and couches with the wonderful presence of this lovely kitty cat here in this lovely home. Just take in a couple deep breaths and let go of the day. All of the things that were with you before you came here, just let them go one by one. And just allow yourself to be present here. Present in this moment, present just as you are. Here on this earth, dancing beneath the sun and the moon and the stars, held and nurtured in the loving waters. Here in this season of Imbolc, of spring and new beginnings, you can almost feel the flowers wanting to press up out of the earth and the leaves to blossom out on the trees. And you can feel that energy ready to birth you anew, even as we gather here this night. May there be peace in this gathering. May wisdom shine its loving light and guide us in our truest truth. Shana. Welcome. So we are here tonight to talk about vibration. You, the vibrational being that you are. We're here to talk about energy. Energy has a lot of different names in a lot of different languages and cultures. Some people know it as chi, whether it's spelled C-H-I or Q-I, depending upon which variation you know. That comes out of the Asian languages and Chinese. Or ki, K-I, out of Japanese, like Reiki. Ki is chi, is energy. In India, it's known as prana. In Hawaiian, it's called mana. In Welsh, it's called nwyfre.
That's what I can pronounce.
Nwyfre. 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 Yeah. Welsh is fun. N like Nancy. W-Y. F like Fred. R like Reginald. And E again. Nwyfre. W's in Welsh are always ooh. They sound like ooh. I know they don't look like ooh, but they sound like ooh in Welsh, I'm told. This is yours. So nwyfre, life force, energy. It's interesting. In a lot of ways, Eastern physics and metaphysics differ, and in a lot of ways, Eastern and Western differ. But in a lot of ways, Eastern and Western are saying the same thing, just in different languages. So in Chinese and in the Eastern tradition, we say, Qi is the fundamental building block of the universe. Everything is made of Qi. There are infinite varieties of Qi. There's food Qi. There's spleen Qi. There's computer Qi. There's fire Qi. There's book Qi. And there's you Qi, right? In the Western tradition, we say energy, the first law of physics is energy can be neither created nor destroyed. And the second law of physics is that all matter is comprised of energy. So all matter is comprised of energy is the same thing as saying the fundamental building block of the universe is chi, is energy, is life force. So we actually agree here. All of these cultures are saying the same thing, but they're saying it in their different languages. So if all matter is made of energy, is made of life force, that means you are made of energy, of life force. I know we like to think about energy as being this diaphanous, what's the word I want to use? Non-substantial thing. And that's true. When you think about gases, when you think about steam, like mist is a form of energy, right? But it's just slightly dense enough that it's no longer invisible like air and like gases. You can almost touch it, right? But as you touch it, it evaporates. Excuse me. So this stool is also made of chi. It's made of energy. And it's energy in vibration, because all energy moves. It's in constant motion, right? That's inherent to the nature of energy. Energy is always moving. Chi is always moving, at least when it's healthy. But things vibrate to different speeds. And the different speeds determine the density of what appears as matter, how that energy appears as matter, right? So like we said, gas vibrates really quickly. You really can't touch it. There's no density to it. Mist is a little bit slower. You can touch it, but it evaporates as soon as you come into contact with it. This stool I can actually touch. It doesn't really appear to move at all, but it is still comprised of energy, because all matter is comprised of energy. Chi is the fundamental building block of the universe, right? But its vibrational wavelength is slower. It has a slower speed and a slower wavelength, and so it appears more dense in its form of matter. Does that make sense to you? You all get that, right? So stone vibrates at an even slower rate. The energy of stone is even slower. So it's really hard, right? Sometimes it's even hard to break it. So it's all energy. But what determines how it appears in matter, in the form of matter, is how fast its frequency is vibrating. Okay? Does that make sense? So you're pretty dense. We're pretty dense folks. We feel like it anyway, right? You can touch the edge of you and go, hey, that's solid. We have bones that are pretty solid, almost as solid as stone. We too, though, are just energy. This is just chi. This is energy in the form of matter. But we move at a slow enough rate that we're denser than air, and we're denser than mist, but we're not quite as dense as stone, right? Our bones are pretty hard. They come close to the denseness of stone, but not quite. Stone can still break us, right? You can fall, and your bone can meet stone, and boy, stone might win. Unless it's a little pebble, right? Your bone is probably stronger than that pebble. But if you're out in the mountains somewhere and you fall down the side of a cliff, I bet stone's going to win. So the first thing to get used to is this idea that energy really isn't this diaphanous thing. It's not really unsubstantial. It can be, but energy exists on a spectrum, just like light exists on a spectrum. You have the absence of light, darkness, right? And then light that is complete and almost blinding in its brilliance, and everything in between. And you have the same thing with energy. You have energy that's very, very dense in the form of stone, and you have energy that's not dense at all, that's more like air and gas. And somewhere in between is you. And in fact, you're not only one form of those, because we have fluid in our veins, right? We have blood, we have water that runs through our cells, then we have cellular structure, we have skin, which is kind of porous, actually. Gases can actually move across the skin membrane. So it's a little bit more porous than our bones, which are a little more solid, a little more dense, right? But we are energy, we are chi, we are life force, we are prana, we are nwyfre. This sitting right here. It's not just a solid hunk of something. It's actually energy in vibration, energy in motion. Are you with me? Because if you're not with me from here, we got a problem. The rest of the show is going to be really interesting. Okay, not really show, but the discussion. All right. So how fast, the rate, the vibration of your energy, of any form of energy, determines how others can perceive it, right? We can see stone in its solidity, and we have the experience of it being very dense and very hard because its vibration is so slow, right? We have a very difficult time interacting with gas, but we can experience it. Like methane gas would make us all pretty sick in here right now. We could experience it, but we couldn't see it or touch it because it has a very fast vibrational rate, right? So how fast the vibration of any particular form of energy is determines the shape that it takes on in our experience, but also how we perceive it and how others perceive it and how others interact with it. Does that make sense? Seems kind of simple? Seems kind of clear? Yeah? Are you with me?
I'm following.
Okay, you just had a puzzled look on your face, so
I'm taking it all in.
no worries. Feel free to ask questions as we go, too, please. So the same is true about you. You are energy in motion. You are vibration, energy vibrating, energy dancing, right? And you have your own vibration. It's what makes you you. If Sandy had the same vibration as I did, we'd look the same. But we don't look the same. We look different. We have two different forms of vibration. They're similar because we have similar exterior, similar shape, right? But they're different. We're perceived very differently. We appear differently, right?
Is that also kind of like the aura too? I've had like aura.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Just recently.
You're jumping ahead. We have the advanced member of the advanced class. Yes, that is true. Your aura is a part of you. So your auric field, and this is where we're going, right? You, yourself, as a vibrational being, you're comprised of two different things. Body, right? This physical form that you inhabit in this given lifetime. But you also have a soul, right? Again, both Eastern and Western agree we are beings of matter and soul. We are both. But soul is also energy in vibration, energy in movement, right? The fundamental building block of the universe is chi, right? Energy can be neither created nor destroyed, and all matter is comprised of energy. Basic laws of physics from the two sides, the two camps, Eastern and Western. Saying the same thing, you are all energy, which means your soul is also made of energy. Okay? So you've got these two things, this physical form that's energy, and you've got this soul that's energy, and the two of them are working together in this particular lifetime. At least we hope they're working together. If they're not, you're probably not feeling so well. Exactly. Right. The two interact, they integrate, right, for a particular lifetime. Different traditions speak differently about how this integration occurs. I come out of a Celtic mystical tradition. In our tradition, we say that your soul actually fills your body, inhabits your body, and it also extends around you. And it creates what we think of as the auric field. Has everybody heard of this term, the auric field? I want to be sure I'm not throwing stuff out that's a loop for people. Okay. So your aura, this is what we're talking about, right? This energy field, even Western science acknowledges that there is this energy field that moves around us. Zephyr's having fun out there.
She loves playing in the hallway.
She's having a good time.
It's her space. It's her playtime. Playroom.
Her playroom. Awesome. So in addition to this physical form, we have this energy, this soul, right? And that the two dance together. They interact. And the energies, so the soul, like I said, it fills the body. It also extends around the body and creates the energy field, the auric field. And you can measure the auric field these days. You can actually take pictures of it, right? Has everybody seen Carillion photography where you can actually see the different colors of the auric field around you, the energy field? There are even people who are able to perceive with their own eyes the auric field and the auric energy around people. This is part of you. It's not outside of you. It's not something that kind of follows you around. This is an extension of you. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and they like step a little too close and they make you really uncomfortable, and you stand there and kind of fidget, and then until you step back and you go, oh, that's much better. Anybody had that experience?
Oh, yeah.
What did they do? They stepped into your auric field. Right? And their auric field stepped into your auric field in a way that made you uncomfortable. Right? Your auric field, your energy body, your soul, if you want to call it that way. For me, again, out of my tradition, that's part of the way we think of it. It's meant to be there. It's an extension of you. And it's meant to be a boundary around you. Just like the skin is a boundary around your physical body. Right? Part of what the skin does is it helps to keep what's you inside of you, right? So that your guts and your blood vessels and stuff don't leak all over the place, right? Keeps it all inside you. All that good serum and fluid that your body needs, keeps it inside you. And it also keeps the stuff that is not good for you outside of you, right? Keeps all the germs away from you, except for those occasional times where the germs are a little bit stronger and they get in and then you have a cold or whatever else, right? But even then, what's the first thing you do when you're sick? You sweat. Why? Because the skin's trying to kick it out, right? Your auric field does the same thing. This is the function of the auric field, is to be like the skin of your body. It's meant to be intact around you. It's meant to provide a healthy boundary for you. It is an extension of you, and it contains your energy, your soul, if you will, right? Your energy body. It makes sure that what's you stays inside of you when it's acting healthily. And it makes sure that what's other than you stays outside of you. So when somebody steps up to you and they kind of come a little too close, your auric field goes, no, you don't get to come in here. I don't know you, you're a stranger to me, and I don't want you in here. And so it says to you, step back, this is too close, step back, this is too close. And then, and you know, you don't want to be rude, so you stand there for a little while feeling really awkward, and then all of a sudden you go, I can't take it, and you step back, and your auric field goes, thank you very much. Because now that person is no longer pushing upon your boundary or actually invading it. Does that make sense? Okay. There are lots of different ways and traditions for looking at the energy body and the auric field, for looking at its composition. What is here, right? Some traditions will look at it in terms of layers. You have like an etheric layer, you have an emotional layer, there's different layers that different traditions will talk about. I'm not going to get into that too much today. I want to stay a little more practical. But one of the things, the other ways that people look at the energy field is through the chakras. And we have next month somebody specifically talking about those. So again, I'm not going to talk too much about them. But what I will say is part of what the chakras do is that they act as integration points and transformational points for the exchange of energy and information between your soul, your energy field, and your physical body. The energy field of your physical body and the energy field of your soul. The chakras are places where these two very distinct things come together and connect and exchange information and communicate with each other, right? Body and soul, it's one unity as you walk around through a life. There has to be integration, and I know there's body, soul, and mind, but I'm leaving mind out for a minute. And you'll see why when I get there. So these two things, soul and body, they have to work together. They have to move together. They're two distinct vibrational entities, right? But they have to work together in harmony, in tandem. So there has to be a place for them to connect, for them to communicate, and these chakras act that way. And in a way, the chakras almost become the mind, because this is the place where there's the alignment between the soul and the body, and then choice can unfold from there. That's just one way of looking at it, okay? Lucy, next month, Lucy Mormon's going to be here talking about chakras, and she'll go more into depth about chakras. But I wanted to at least let you know that there's stuff happening here. There are flows that occur in the energy field. There are, like I said, some people look at them as layers, because this is part of you. This is part of information from your soul, right? And it's accessible to you through the vibration. But this dance between your soul and the energy field of your soul and the energy field of your body creates a distinct vibration that makes you uniquely you. Has everybody in here been to a funeral? Mm-hmm. Has everybody seen a corpse, a dead body? It doesn't look the same as the person in life, does it? Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot of times it looks really different. You're like, is that my friend, or is that the person I knew? You look down at them and they just don't look like themselves at all.
They're not there.
Their soul's not there. Mm-hmm. Their soul is gone. Soul and physical body have separated at this point. So you no longer have the vibration of soul. You only have the vibration of the body, right? And in fact, at that point in death, that vibration has stopped. And the body is simply returning back to nature. There's no vibration. That individual distinctness that made that person is gone. And so they don't look like them anymore. So yeah.
Don't even feel it at all.
Yeah, nothing. Just empty. If you're energetically sensitive at all, if you can perceive like a persona or the energy of an individual when you stand next to a corpse, there's nothing there. Same thing with, where was I? I was going to say something else. A little less morbid, but...
when you were talking about the internal intros, I'm like, she's kind of digging this, isn't she? She's kind of going on about this.
Sorry, I'm a medical practitioner. I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner, so for me it's not a big deal to talk about it.
When you said leaking out, I thought she said spilling out.
So what's the equivalent to entrails on the soul? I mean, it's a boundary, so what's it holding in, or is it just, I know you said holding out and holding it, but is it
right.
anything like that? I mean, is it just keeping your energy from leaking out?
It's keeping your energy from leaking out. Oh! We have a cat on the table, sorry. It's keeping your energy, your soul force from leaking out, right? But the equivalent of kind of the entrails, well, not necessarily the entrails, but the skin keeps the stuff that's necessary for your physical functioning inside, right? And the energetic field, the energetic boundary keeps your soul essence that's essential for your functioning inside as well. So it's all of the wisdom, all of the beauty, all of the skills, all of the gifts that the soul brings with it. That's what it's keeping inside, right? Your wisdom, your power, your life force. I mean, it really is keeping your life force inside. All right, let's take another example. This isn't where I was going before, but since Teresa offered us a pathway. Do you guys know people who are always tired? Mm-hmm. Like they're just always exhausted, right? And they're always doing, right? They're always busy. There's always somebody they have to help. There's always somebody they have to help. There's always somebody they have to help, right? There's always somebody who needs something. There's always something that has to get done. Yeah, you know people like this? No energetic boundary or holes in their boundary. What's happening? Their life force is leaking out. They see a place of need and they offer it out. It just pours out and spills out and it gets drawn out of them and they let it go. There's not enough of a healthy container to hold their life force in, right?
I know it's a simplistic question, but what are some of the basic ways to get it back?
Yeah, excellent question. It's not a simplistic question at all.
Well, it is compared to what the answers will be. What I mean.
Obviously, the best thing is to not let it go in the first place, right? So generating a healthy boundary, a healthy auric boundary is a very important thing for us. We are not taught energetics in this society. We are not an energetically sensitive society. We know how to manipulate energy. Marketing is a perfect example of this. But we're not energetically sensitive. So the first thing is to simply become aware of your boundaries and start to cultivate your own personal boundary. And then to start to recognize when it is that you open that inappropriately and let too much out. Bless you. We're going to do a little bit of that tonight, looking at figuring out how to feel, how to come into contact with this energetic field and this boundary. I just want to talk a little bit longer before we do that. So, starting to cultivate your own awareness of this and starting to cultivate an awareness of how you interact with people when you let people into your field, when you, completely just give up your own energy, all of that, okay? So the best thing to do is to obviously not let it go, to cultivate a really solid container. But also, if you know you've let it go, if you've given it up, right, you can sit down and you have to make the decision. Are you okay with the fact that you gave it up to somebody, right? And if you are, then you have to bless it and make a gift of it and let it go, and it's no longer yours. If you're not, then you have to call it back to you and draw it back to you. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just acknowledge, wow, I gave up something that was inappropriate for me to give up. I call it back to me, and I let it return to me.
So if you bless it and let it go, is there literally a void, or does that rebuild itself?
So you've written a check, right? Or you've taken cash out of your account. It's a better way to look at it. You've taken cash out of your account, you've spent it, that cash is gone. So now you have to earn some more, right? So you have to cultivate some more energy, right?
And don't feel selfish if you have to call it back.
Yeah, don't feel selfish if you have to call it back. It's
It
your
doesn't
energy.
It doesn't have to be a gift. I can take it back.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't have to be. If you didn't intend to give it up in the first place, it doesn't have to be a gift. Only if you're well and good and sure that it's okay for you to let it go, bless it and let it go. But recognize that that's money out of your checking account, right? And then you're going to have to bring some more in, cultivate some more for yourself. How do you do that? Through meditation, right? Through soul work, through doing whatever your own inner transpersonal work is, whether it's journey work, guided meditation, astral work, whatever it is, however it is that you cultivate your own soul. Spending time in nature, that's another good way. Nature is a great replenisher. And nature also will teach you very much about energetic fields. This is another way to continue kind of learning about them, going out and just becoming aware of the energy fields of trees. When you walk places, why do you feel repelled from one place and drawn to another? This comes down to vibration, right? The vibration in that place doesn't jive with you so well. But this vibration over here does. It's nourishing and nurturing to you, and you feel drawn to it, right? And you can drink from it if they gift it to you. Okay?
That also has a lot to do with the energy of the pets responding to us.
Absolutely.
I have like a almost therapy little tiny white toy poodle. He's actually an angel puppy and a healer. He's actually saved people's lives. And I got laid off my job after 24 years. And anytime across the room, if I start to tear up, he can come over and sense that without me, just the vibration, and he'll lick that tear before it comes down, and he can tell when I'm happier or whatever. I've never been out of work in my life, so he seems to just be in tune, and if my life condition raises, somehow he knows that. He gets happy. It's like, how does he know that?
We think about that as instinct. We call that instinct in animals, right? How does an animal know that suddenly there's something, potentially preying on it nearby and it needs to take shelter, right? How does an animal know it's going to be a hard winter and it needs to stock up, right? We call this stuff instinct. In reality, this is energetic sensitivity. Animals are great teachers about living with energetic mindfulness and energetic sensitivity, just like nature is. They're tuned in on that energetic level. They can tell. I had a cat, speaking of animals, I had a cat who 5 minutes before I would walk in the door from work at the end of the day or from wherever I'd been, would walk to the front door, sit there and wait.
My dog
She
changed
knew.
when the clock changed. Like when we set our clocks forward, he's like, okay, I won't go to bed now. And he literally changed his timing with the clock change.
Right. They're aligned to the shift in the vibration and the energy, the flow of the energy in the area around them, in the environment around them, right? And they're aware.
So you hear like your car pull up in the driveway and Bambino will be standing at the door.
Sure.
When I go to open the door.
This is energetic awareness. It's the same thing, like you're sitting and all of a sudden you go, oh, gee, I haven't thought of that friend in ages. I wonder how she's doing. And all of a sudden the phone rings, right?
Yeah.
You know this person, so your energetic body is already in relationship with this person. That means it's in relationship with this person no matter how many thousands of miles separate you. Or time, right? You are in relationship. Your energy field, your vibration is in relationship with that individual's energy field and vibration. As long as you choose to continue to relate to this individual as friend, that relationship maintains itself, and you can perceive what that other person is doing. You can get sad because that person is sad, right? This is vibration. Sadness carries its own frequency, its own wavelength. It has its own vibrational nature, and your energy body can perceive it from someone. You can walk into a room and know whether a happy conversation was going on or a not so happy conversation was going on, right? Really easy. This is the vibrational nature. You're sensing and perceiving the vibration that is remaining in that room from that conversation. Does that make sense? And you're feeling it through your own vibrational nature. Yeah? Everybody with me?
Does it have to be with people that you've met before?
Not necessarily, no. I was just using this friend as a to discuss the relationship, but no. I mean, the conversation could have been between strangers.
And even like some people that you pass and you automatically smile at each other as though you know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, total strangers.
Or people that you pass and you know exactly how they're feeling. Right. So this brings us to another discussion about the energy field, right? And healthy boundaries. When you have healthy boundaries, it's like your doors and windows are closed, and only what goes out is what you want to go out, right? And only what comes in is what you want to come in. When you have unhealthy boundaries, it's like your doors and windows are open, and stuff kicks out, whether or not you intend it. So there are people who are not energetically sensitive, and it's through no fault of their own. This is not taught in our society. This is something you have to seek out, right? They have no idea. Their windows and doors are wide open, and they're just screaming out whatever it is that they're feeling or thinking. I call them broadcasters. They're like radios, right? It's like you get on the bus and everybody has their own independent or personal boombox or iPod, and it's playing at full volume, right? Or whatever volume that particular individual is broadcasting at. So you walk by a complete stranger, it's like you walk through the music that they're playing. And you got it. You heard the song whether or not you wanted to, right? Because you're vibrationally aware. And so you can feel this. But a healthy, functioning auric field at that point, so somebody's walking down the street with their boombox playing, a healthy, functioning auric field, what does it do? It says, you're other than me, and I let it go. So it doesn't come into you. It doesn't disrupt you. It doesn't disturb you. You can see it and go, oh, well, there you go. But you can let it pass right by you. Whereas an unhealthy one, it comes in and all of a sudden you're feeling that way. Say that person was angry, or all of a sudden you're angry and you don't know why you're angry and you can't figure out why you're angry. And no matter what you do, you don't get unangry because it's not your anger to begin with.
Sort of like a bad song that just keeps replaying in your mind.
Exactly. Right.
Which is why there's toxic relationships.
Exactly. Well, it's partially why. There's other reasons for toxic relationships too.
But yeah, it's that.
You have your simple question.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
road rage is a good example of that.
Road
too.
rage is a great example.
You know,
of this,
where
yeah.
it's not, somebody's having a bad day and suddenly you're, you know,
Caught up in there.
yeah, and you have to consciously reject it,
Right.
as opposed to like, I'll show you.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know.
Or
So-
have you ever been driving? Wait a minute.
So is that the fuzzy edges I see?
Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
good.
Good question. Hold on.
yeah.
Give me a minute. So you're driving along, right? Doesn't even have to be like rush hour. Sorry, my brain just went into Russian. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I stayed English. I literally. I speak Russian as well, and an old friend got in touch with me, and we've been corresponding in Russian, and I was writing in Russian before I came here. I told you it was a wild day. Anyway, and rush hour is this great word in Russian, and my brain just went right there. Okay, back to English. You're driving along. It doesn't have to be rush hour. You're driving, maybe there's nobody in front of you, and this car zooms up behind you, and you know they want you to speed up, right? How do you know? It's almost like you can feel them pushing you from behind. Move, move, right? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. This is communication through the auric field. This is energy, vibration, moving. That individual is sending their vibration, directing it at you.
So it's not that the auric field has expanded to encompass the car?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. The driver is sending directly energy at you, right?
Could it be that
Engaging
their
with
energy
you.
is moving faster than your energy too?
That wouldn't feel like move. It wouldn't feel personal. If their energy is moving faster than you, first of all, they'd be out of their body because they're driving behind you. Right?
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
might use the vehicle to intimidate you.
I was gonna say, could it be you can't see their headlights in your rearview mirror anymore?
Could it be that I just slammed on my brake and now they're touching me?
That's another conversation entirely. I'm not going there. I'm just trying to give you some like day-to-day examples of
Right.
things so that you can start to put the pieces together as to how this works, right?
But I can see though where you are feeling it before you're logically perceiving it.
Yes.
Because part of your mind would automatically think that car should be going around you, probably pretty far back.
Right.
Especially if there's no other cars and you're already, part of you's already wondering
Right.
why. So it's like you're perceiving it energetically before even logically.
Right. It could even be you're just driving along, there's no cars, you're having a lovely drive, you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, no big deal, and all of a sudden something goes, look in your rearview mirror. Right? And you look and there's this car zooming up on you. What was the thing that made you go look in your rearview mirror? It was your perception of something approaching you from
Shifting.
behind. There was a change in the energetic vibration in the environment around you. You perceived it through your energetic field, and then your brain interpreted that as look in the rearview mirror, right?
It's such a fine line, you're not even conscious of it.
That's exactly right. We're not taught to use these senses, to be aware of these senses. We're not taught to engage through our energetic field, but we do it all the time because we are energetic fields. That's all we are.
And there's sometimes we get desensitized to it.
There are times when we get desensitized to it. So, but part of the process of living consciously in this awareness of your own vibration is starting to be aware of how you respond to other energetic fields, right? And then starting to become aware of your own energetic field and starting to cultivate and tend your own energetic field. I haven't forgotten your question. You had another question?
Yeah, I was just curious. So you talk about it kind of like negative energy, so if someone's rushing up behind you, that's a negative feeling.
Mhm.
What about when you have like that positive feeling, like the positive attraction of someone?
Sure.
I mean, not necessarily attraction like a sexual attraction, but just like,
Energy.
Right.
yeah, where you're
Well,
just
she-
drawn to someone. And
yeah.
like, is it the same thing?
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
okay.
Melissa made the comment about like you're walking down the street and you look up and there's somebody coming the other way and the two of you just smile
Yeah,
at each
it's
other.
very intentional eye contact.
Yeah.
You
You know,
don't mean just the polite,
Beautiful
oh, I
experience.
know they're
No.
looking at me, so I'm gonna look at them.
No,
and
no,
you accidentally
this is
smile.
different.
Not
Right.
that.
Have you had that experience where you're just walking and a stranger passes you and the two of you smile at each other and there's just a deep sense of connection?
I
But
usually
you
do
don't
with children, not
necessarily-
necessarily adults.
Okay.
But yeah.
But you've had that experience,
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily say anything other than "Hi, how you doing?" Right?
It's
but
good
there's
enough.
that's good enough.
Yeah.
There's just this deep sense of beautiful joy or beautiful
I
connection.
notice this happens a lot more whenever there's like a small child playing and there's be a whole room of adults that don't even know each other and they're all smiling and talking about the child because it's having so much fun.
Oh, yeah, and people tend to
you
smile
get
over
that
children too.
Rapport with people and you just sense
Right,
that this is a neat thing to observe.
right.
I think they're kind of using the child
Yes.
to, because they can't maybe feel comfortable with contact to each other, so they zoom into the child to relate. Maybe.
Well, but also children have a very pure energy. They're when they're very young. As they get older, it's different.
I don't know.
We're talking about little ones, right? They've just come over from life as souls, as pure souls, and they're just back in form, and they still are a lot closer to soul living, and so they tend to have a lot of positive vibration in their energy field. Not always. I do know some kids who
Varies
came in
greatly.
with very negative negative energy, you know, just that there's stuff that they're working on. It's not a judgment, it's just this is where they are. They came in with some tough stuff and they're just working hard. So absolutely, it goes positive and negative. I'm using some of the negative examples tonight because people notice it more. People don't think of it as much when you think of, okay, well, here's the perfect example, right? You walk into a room, you meet somebody, you're introduced to them, and you go, have we met before? Mm-hmm. And you track back, right? Do you know so-and-so? Did you do this? Did you ever work here? No, there's nothing in this lifetime that the two of you can relate to or connect through. There's nothing in common. And yet you know that person.
Maybe from another lifetime.
Very possibly, but hold on 1 minute. Hold on. Let me finish. Very possibly. But the point is that your vibration and the vibration of that other individual are really in harmony. and there's just this natural rapport between the two of you. Whether or not you can look back to find another lifetime, you know, as a root of it, but the two of you are just really naturally in harmony with each other. And it's just a pleasure to be with each other. And so it feels so familiar because your vibrations are so similar. So absolutely, it's a beautiful positive example. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it definitely does work through the positive. And I usually like to teach the positive examples, but sometimes those are harder to see in this situation. All right, you?
Well, I get asked that almost weekly. Do we know each other? How do you look so familiar.
Right.
And I have said many times, you know, gosh, if I had $1 for every time somebody asked me that, I really would be. So
right.
Why do people say that to me?
Maybe you're just attracting people that you either know from a past lifetime, or there's something familiar. You're attracting.
Because I must have been very popular. Because I'm telling you, weekly it happens.
I understand.
So that's really interesting.
But you also may have an energetic vibration that's familiar to these people, and that could also be why they're drawn to you. And it's not necessarily that your physical form, that you as the physical being is what's familiar to them. It's the energy that's familiar to them.
Yeah. And I really do not want anything, you know, so I would have no way of knowing anybody.
Yeah, no, it's very possible. Okay. Yeah.
Isn't it also a lot like, you know, some of us are young souls, some of us are old souls, but I've run into people before, like, I'm a Buddhist, and I've looked at this girl and said, wow, I haven't seen you forever. When was the last time? And we both had that instant feeling, but not in this lifetime.
Sure.
Oh my God, we knew each other from another. It was just this. It was almost like you saw each other and then you picked back up, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in this lifetime before.
But some part of you recognized that individual's vibration, and some part of that individual recognized some part of your vibration, and the recognition was there. Yeah, absolutely. But again, this is recognition of vibration. So I mentioned that I'm a practitioner of Celtic mysticism and Druidry, and Celtic mysticism has this beautiful concept of the Oran Cree. And if you want me to spell it for you, I will. But the Oran Cree, it's the heart song. So everything that comes into existence is sung into existence through the love-making of the sacred three, the Mother, Father, and the Creator in the Celtic tradition, right? And the song that the sacred three uses to sing anything into existence is its heart song, its Oran Cree. So that ottoman has an Oran Cree. The books there each have an Oran Cree. The computer has an Oran Cree, right? The house has an Oran Cree. And every one of you and me has an Oran Cree. And each Oran Cree is unique to the individual thing that it sings into existence, that it maintains in existence, right? Song is vibration. Sound is vibration, right? So your Oran Cree is the vibration of you. Me as Jennifer Jacoby, as this integrated dynamic of physical body and soul complex, is sung into existence through my own Oran Cree. And the Oran Cree, that song, that vibration, is my soul's truest vibration. It is the truest vibration of me as Jennifer in this incarnation. Does that make sense? So in another incarnation, when I'm not Jennifer, I'm somebody else, that Oran Cree is different. But part of the vibration that was Jennifer, that is Jennifer currently, might be present in that life, that Orin Cree as well. Okay? There can be a resonance between the two songs. They can be very close, right? Hold on, let me finish. I want to get through this. So, all of these heart songs are singing simultaneously. And they form it's like a chorus, right? It's a chorus of Orin Crees, of heart songs. How beautiful. And that chorus in its totality in the Celtic tradition is called the Orin Mór, the great song of life. So the great song of life is everything that is in existence singing its heart songs all together. And like a choir, those heart songs have relationships, right? Some heart songs are singing this part of the song, and others have the, alto line, and some have the basso line, and, not to be quite so literal, but there are relationships. So it could be that some of these people who come up and go, wow, where have we met before, are all singing a similar part of the Orin Mór. The vibration is similar. It's familiar to them. But they're not energetically tuned enough to go, wow, your heart song is so close to mine, isn't that cool, right?
I'll say that back to them.
Exactly. So instead they say, wow, you're really familiar, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you have to spell.
Okay. Orin Cree. O, R like Robert, A, N like Nancy. Second word, Cree. C like Charlie, R like Robert. O, I with the fada. With the accent, right? The fada. Orin Cree. And then Orin Mór is the same, Orin, O-R-A-N.
Wait.
Yeah.
You said O-R-A, is there an N?
Yeah, O-R-A-N. I'm sorry, did I not say the N?
I think you skipped the N.
Okay, O-R-A-N is the first word. Cree, C-R-O-I with the fada, which is like an accent aigu in French, right? And then Orin Mór is O-R-A-N. You don't want my coffee, sweetie. And Mór is M like man, O with the fada, the accent, and R, M-O-R, Orin Mór. Now those are the Irish spellings. Scottish looks a little different, but we'll just stick with the Irish for tonight.
Since you're going with the Irish, what's the Irish word for?
For chi? I wish I knew.
You once told me, and then I didn't.
I have been looking for that for ages. I have been asking everybody I know, and nobody knows. I have been looking for it. No. Nwyfre is the closest I've gotten is the Welsh. I haven't found the Scottish or the Irish yet.
Was it something like wish or something like that?
Not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, I've never known the Irish word for chi. I'm looking for it, though. I will find it.
Is it
Let me
Guinness?
know when you get it.
It's a Guinness. That's the modern variation. Might be potato. No,
Actually,
that's funny.
potatoes weren't actually native.
Are you okay on coffee?
I'm great. What time is it? What time do we have? Because I want to do some of these practices.
8 o'clock.
The baby.
The baby.
That's very pure.
When they first come, yeah.
But as an adult,
Yeah.
it's still the same.
The Orin Cree is the same.
Or it's just the same.
The Orin Cree, well, no. Okay, hold on. You're asking, is the Orin Cree more pure as a baby than as it is as a child, as an adult?
It just seems like it changes. I mean, it seems like, you are the same person, but you aren't. I mean, you aren't the same person when you're dead or dying or older or
Right.
when you're bigger.
Don't your life experiences just change how you hear?
Your Orin Cree changes through your lifetime with the choices that you make, right?
That's what I was-
And as you grow and become. So as you learn, your Orin Cree shifts with you, right? It's a song. It flows. And as you move through different phases of your life, the actual Orin Cree changes with you, right? And in fact, the change in the Orin Cree is what prompts you to make a change. Have you ever been in that place where you know you got to make a change? Something's got to change. You know, what you've been doing just doesn't serve you anymore, but you haven't quite figured out what it is that you need to be doing. Your Orin Cree has changed. Something in the song that is singing your existence has changed, and you're catching up with it here. You're hearing the change, you're experiencing the change in your own vibration, but you haven't quite brought that into manifestation. Hang on. I gotta finish her question, right? So you haven't quite caught up to it. And when you do, your life changes.
So that's suggesting that your Oran Cree is always pure.
Your Oran Cree is always pure.
So you never bring your Oran Cree down.
It's
You're
how
just not...
you hear your connection to your Oran Cree that changes, right? So a child who's a month old has been living over in spirit and soul for a while as pure soul, right? Yeah. It's dialed into the song of soul. And when it's born into this physical body, man, it's tough to get used to a body. It's exhausting to learn how to move these things, right? I mean, they're up for an hour and all of a sudden they're like, it's too much, I can't take it, I go to sleep, right? You watch a little kid, like, working to try to figure out how to move his hand and move his fingers and have some precision, right? This is the soul attempting to integrate with the physical body. It's those chakra systems trying to align and integrate, right? So that soul, the vibration of the soul and the vibration of the energy body come into harmony, come into cooperation with each other, right? But that soul is dialed into its soul song as a little one. But what happens is, as it starts to integrate with the vibration of physical body, and then it starts to live in the noise of here, with all of these songs singing, we lose it a little bit. Yeah. We stop hearing it quite so clearly, right? Other things cloud in. And so the connection to the Oran Cree diminishes. The Oran Cree is still as pure as it ever was. It's our connection to it that starts to get lost, right? That's where a lot of these spiritual practices and meditative practices are really useful, because they help you to hear that song again in a direct, pure form, right? Does that answer your question?
I think so, yeah. So it's not,
No, are you, okay. Jen?
I was just gonna comment about a story that I heard there's a tribe in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a mother is pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
she learns her child's song.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that child, as he gets older and grows up and be a man or a woman, if they ever falter away, she teaches the song to the tribe. And then everybody in the tribe sings that song back to him or her.
Right.
Isn't that lovely?
But that gives you an idea.
Right.
Ties right into what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We would say that the tribe and the mother is listening for the heart song, learns the heart song and sings it to her child as a way of helping her child to dial in to its existence, its vibration in this lifetime.
She always remembers that song.
And then the community sings it to that child in times of need as a healing mechanism, right? Yeah.
How do you learn the song?
First, you have to live in a culture that believes that. And if you're growing up in a culture that you believe that, you're more open to hearing it.
I'm sorry, I didn't actually hear what you said.
Oh, how do you learn the song?
In cultures that have spiritual practices, there are ways of connecting into it. Like you can connect. No, it's not that they're more in tune to it. They actually have spiritual practices that allow them to make connection directly to their heart song. So I'm a practitioner of shamanism. So one of the ways that I connect to my heart song is I journey to specifically hear and experience my heart song. And that allows me then to cultivate that relationship. And over time, the ways in journey space that I connect with my heart song, the way I experience it changes as I'm growing and changing. But I can connect to it through shamanic journey. There are other mystical inner practices that can be done, as well to connect with it. You can do vision quests to connect with your heart song, to hear your heart song and realize your heart song. Sometimes there are meditative techniques as well that you can do to sit and begin to hear your heart song. So there are ways to connect with it.
I've heard of people journey.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a couple little tools here very shortly. So now we had one more question on the floor, but does anybody else have a question before I get to it? Because this takes us in a slightly different direction. That's why I've been waiting.
Can you have more than one song or more than one?
Heart song?
Because sometimes you'll be with someone and their communication with this person is different than their communication with this person. And standing back, you witness this. What is their true song?
The song is not their form of communication. Their form of communication emerges out of their song, but
Or well, you feel
their
you
song
feel a
remains the
difference.
same. I guess I'm not understanding you. Give it to me again.
Well, you know, I can feel somebody's song,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel their song towards you, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel their song towards you may not be the
Quite the same. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, do you have an idea of why? Like,
no, I was curious.
Okay.
You know, why does this song change? Is it in reflection
Sure.
to someone else's song?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you have a certain vibration, right? And I have a certain vibration. And when our two vibrations come into relationship with each other, they create a certain harmony, a certain disharmony, or a neutral
You kinda
vibration.
covered that earlier.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
So then I disengage from you. I have a certain vibration. Melissa has a certain vibration. When we come into direct focused relationship with each other, it creates a certain dissonance, a certain neutrality, or a certain harmony, right? And that, whatever emerges here, will be determined by how our two songs are in relationship. What emerges here is how our two songs are in relationship, right? It's like you take a flute playing a C, and you take an oboe playing an F sharp, that's going to create one vibration in total, right? But then if you bring a clarinet playing a C and a bassoon playing, you know, a B flat, you're going to get a different vibration. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's at that point you've got two different vibrations that are moving, coming into relationship with each other, and it's what emerges out of that. How synchronous are the two vibrations?
It's
Right?
like how some people click and some people don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Okay,
Right.
question.
Yeah.
Now that you did the music analogy
Uh-huh.
and said that the clarinet is a C and the
I was just pulling stuff out.
oboe
It's
is a B flat, but so like, are you always gonna be the same vibration, or will you vibrate differently depending on
I think that's
things?
kind of.
I just, that sounds more like what you were kind of saying.
so my heart song is always my heart song.
So if you're a C, you're always a C.
Well, until the tune of my heart song changes, right? Because my heart song changes as I evolve. So in one phase of my life, I may be a C. In another phase of my life, I may become an A.
But can it be?
But for that
Quicker
phase
than-
of my life, it is what it is, right?
Could it be quicker than phases? Could it be hours
For moments.
or moments?
No, your heart song is your heart song.
See, now I kind of pictured the vibration and your heart song being two somewhat separate things. I mean, I understand where they come together
Your vibration.
is your heart song.
Okay.
I picture
Okay.
them two
I
somewhat
think
separate
I think I
things
see
that
where the confusion
are
is.
side by
Hold
side.
on. I think I see where the confusion is. Your soul's truest vibration, the pure vibration that is you, is your heart song. That's the equivalent, right? It's the song, it's the vibration that sings you into existence and maintains you. How you are manifesting that in your energy field is another issue entirely.
Right.
Okay? Because you may be completely to the very edges of your auric field in resonance with your heart song. That's pretty rare, in my experience. You know those people who are they're always the same. No matter who they're with, no matter who they're around, that's just how they are. They're always that way. That's somebody who is really in their heart song.
Someone here or heart song, like you're thinking of someone, and I'll say this with Mary. I was like, oh, I need to call her to see if she's gonna come. I know she's thinking about me, and at that second,
Yeah.
she calls me, or I call her.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Is that they're hearing our? Are they?
They're not hearing their heart song. They're feeling the vibration of you focused upon the vibration of them.
So see what I mean? You can
That
be
comes
perceived
back
as
to
two
that
separate.
relationship.
Does it happens a lot with a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
Somebody say, oh my
You-
gosh, I was just thinking of you, or I was gonna ask you that, or vice versa.
Right, remember I talked about earlier how you are an energy field and another individual's an energy field, and when you're in relationship with them, there's an instant connection between the two of you. So when you think about them, it's like your vibrational field focuses on them, and they perceive that. They feel the energy coming toward them, right? They feel the vibration of it along their energy field, and they go, oh, I know who that is. Because it's familiar to them, they recognize it. But that's not the heart song.
Right.
That's your energetic body engaging in your life and connecting with another individual. The purest, truest vibration of you is your heart song, right? And that vibrates through your energy field if you're in connection with it. And if you're choosing to manifest it, right? There's all kinds of things here now, because you could choose to ignore your heart song, and then there's all kinds of other issues that come up, right? So your energy field may be very out of sync with your heart song. Hold on, just a minute.
Me next. No.
I'm still trying to answer your question. Or
No,
are
I was
you good?
teasing.
Have I answered it already? Or
I'm pretty comfortable with
so
that.
it's. I mean, it also part of this depends on how well perfused the individual's heart song is through their energy field. How much have they brought it out through them, right? How much are they living? How much are they the living embodiment of their soul's truest vibration? Or where are they still learning to integrate that vibration? Right? Does that make sense?
Depending on your comfort level,
I'm coming.
depending on your comfort level at that time,
Mm-hmm.
can your vibration be different?
Sure, your vibration in your auric field can change, but your heart song remains the same.
Got it.
Your
Like-
vibration is like your blood pressure.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Sometimes. Can be.
So my vibration, I step into an area that makes me uncomfortable, right? My vibration kind of tightens a little bit because it wants to make sure that my energetic body, my energetic boundary remains really solidly intact. I'm uncomfortable. My auric field is saying to me, this might not be the best place for you. You don't really want to let this energy in. So let's reinforce our energetic boundary. And even the edges around my energetic field will thicken. The vibration there will slow down to become more dense, right? So that it's less porous, so I take in less. Okay? But then I leave that place, I shake it all off, I go, oh, that's fine, I'm glad to be out of there. And I go to a place where I'm really happy, where I'm really comfortable. My energetic boundary thins a little bit, right? That energy that had slowed down to thicken to make sure that I had a nice, dense boundary between me and wherever it was that I was now thins. And those energies start to move more quickly.
And you're more yourself.
And become more porous. I'm still myself, but I'm able to be more fluid, right? Because I'm at ease in the environment. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this energy body can change in its density. You can engage different levels of this energetic field, which again, we didn't really get into today because I have other people who are going to talk about it. But your heart song remains the same through all of that. It's like your heart song is the guiding principle. And then here in your auric field is the everyday experience. Okay? Does that make sense? Are you good? All right, Dawn.
So then that kind of goes into my question,
Okay.
which is, so you said that the heart song can evolve with you as
Sure.
you go through your life. Right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But is there ever a reason that the heart song would change at a more rapid rate? For example, trauma or something like that.
So are you asking, I want to be sure I understand your question. Are you asking, are there experiences in life that can shift the heart song?
Right, like a traumatic event or traumatic circumstances.
Or a joyous event or a joyous experience?
I assume I guess that would be the same. Just one is positive and one is negative.
Maybe I'm not doing as good a job as I thought.
No.
So, if your heart song is your soul's guiding vibration in this lifetime, right? It's the song that's singing you into existence. It's giving you your purpose. It's telling you who you are and what it is that you're here to manifest, right? If you are there, you're in connection with it, or you're striving to be in connection with it, and you go out and have a car accident, a traumatic experience, to just take from your example, there must have been a reason for that traumatic experience. In some way, it's helping you to connect to your heart song. Right?
Okay.
I mean, if living this heart song, if becoming the living embodiment of this heart song is the soul's purpose, is the purpose for a given lifetime, is to bring this song out into the universe, into manifestation around you, to be it every 24/7. If you're striving towards that and you walk out and have a car accident, there's some way that that car accident is helping you tune back in to your heart song.
So it's not that it changes it,
It shifts
It's-
you.
right, your physical and your soul that's living in the everyday to get back in line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It gives your soul here the opportunity to reconnect and realign in some way.
But you have to be open to that lesson
Absolutely.
to take you back.
Absolutely. And if you're not, what happens?
Well, you're just taking a floundering.
Well, and you probably have another traumatic experience shortly
Right,
down the
exactly.
road.
Until
Right?
you finally pay
It's
attention.
probably a little bit more traumatic than the
Yeah.
first one you had.
Yeah.
And if you miss the opportunity to realign on that one, you probably shortly down the road have another traumatic
Right.
experience that is probably somewhat similar or of a similar nature, but is again a little bit worse than the second one, more intense,
I was
right?
looking at like, do you hear me now?
Exactly. Are you listening yet? Right? Are you listening yet? Like I said, I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner, and one of my teachers in school said to me, for people to change, usually what has to happen is that the pain of continuing the way they are now exceeds the pain that it takes to change. Right? And a lot of times traumatic experiences come along because the universe says, it's like receiving the Tower card. Man, I've given you too many times. I've given you so many opportunities to change this peacefully, and you're not doing it. So you know what? I'm going to do it for you. And so that's, a lot of times, that's what they are. Every experience you have is always an opportunity to realign with your heart song. Every single experience. It's always bringing you back to your soul's truest vibration. To your soul's truest vibration. Every single experience. The trick is to live in awareness enough of your energetic field and of your soul's truest vibration to make the connection back. To find the gift in each experience and to reconnect back into your heart song, right? I mean, this is true of positive experiences too, right? You walk into a room, you connect with someone deeply, and you go, man, are you sure we don't know each other? And the answer is no, we've really never met before in this lifetime. All right, fine. You even track back through your brain as much as you're able to figure out, have I known this person in a past lifetime? Man, I can't even find them in a past lifetime. Well, you know what? That's okay. It was a beautiful experience. We had a great time together. We had a great encounter. And you know what? Being with that individual helped me open back up to the beauty and the vibration of my own soul's song, my own soul's life force, my own soul's vibration. Something within that person's vibration just clicked me into that positive place with my own vibration and opened me up to connect back with it.
And to that point, when I was unhealthy, I didn't get it as much. Now that I'm healthy,
There you go.
I get it, and that
Mhm.
now you're making it clear. Now I'm feeling that more vibrational.
Right.
But I'm healthy, I didn't get it.
Right.
Okay.
Why was you not healthy in the first place?
Well, that's another conversation. We don't have to go there. So, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not asking
No,
you
no, I
personally,
get it.
but
Right,
Yeah,
but my-
we're not going to go there right
well,
now.
when you were saying when your boundaries are healthy. And
When your boundaries are healthy, but also, you know, when you feel healthy, when you feel good, part of what's happening is, you know, that heart song is really flowing through your whole energy field, the energy field of your soul and the energy field of your body. It flows through both, and it is the unifying principle here, right? And everything's in resonance with that, and man, you're feeling good. You are dialed into who you are, you're feeling good in who you are, you're feeling good in your body, you're feeling great in your soul, that boundary is good. Yeah, right? But if you're off a little bit, you're not feeling so well, maybe, you know, your body's not feeling good, or maybe that integration between soul and body is a little bit off, or maybe your soul's having a hard time really dialing into that heart song, maybe the heart song's in the process of changing, and you haven't quite manifested that, haven't quite brought that out through you, and so you kind of feel like you're hobbling along a little bit, right? And maybe it doesn't happen as much because you're not quite resonating at full force. I mean, those moments change. Those moments happen.
What about like the external circumstances? And the reason I'll say it, and I'll still say it even after I tell you I am very grateful that I'm alive. But on March the 3rd, a year ago, we had that ice storm.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was slick. I worked with relatives of Mayor Slay, and it was 60 degrees, and then at one point it was like 10. And everything melted, and it was right over, you know, when you walk out the door, and all I did was just take, and I felt good. I was fine. I knew to be careful, and all I did was just take one step. I wasn't in a hurry. I wasn't running, and I slipped. I tore my stomach muscles, landed on my crazy elbow, my knees, body slammed my whole body, and my head. 10 pinched nerves, blacked out, had a concussion. Wow. Never had anything like that, but I take Juice Plus for 15 years, and they said that probably saved me. Nothing broke, but hurt like hell. Blacked out while I was driving for 3 months because I had to go to work, you know, like for a second or two. And I was like thinking, what was I supposed to learn from this? A lot of people cared about me, you know. I didn't feel that I was out of balance or out of harmony. I took one little bitty step. And I have a lot to be grateful for. Oh my gosh, I am alive.
So I hope at some point you are able to find the gift of that and find how it helped you to hear more clearly or dial more, you know, fully into the vibration that is you.
I used to be in a hurry. No, go. But I was not.
Yeah. I mean, every experience is different. Every experience draws us back differently. So I mentioned I'm a shamanic practitioner. In my shamanic apprenticeship, I had a teacher who one day said to us, all right, take out your books, and I want you to write down the 5 most difficult experiences of this lifetime. Write them down. They have to be written on paper for other people to see, okay? So we sat down and we wrote these down. And then we went around and we actually had to read them aloud to the group because we were being held accountable for them, right? And then his next instruction was, now I want you to go journey and gather all of your allies around you and thank them for these 5 experiences and tell them why they were the right experiences for you in that moment. Hold on, stay with me. Why they were the right experiences for you in that moment. You know, we often look at things as, oh, well, I just took a step, or, you know, it just happened. No. From the shamanic tradition, the shamanic standpoint, it didn't just happen. It happened for a reason. Your soul was trying to process through something. What that might have been, I can't tell you just from sitting here talking with you. But in some way, that experience was a moment for you to dial more fully into you. And to let go of some pattern that didn't serve you and to dial more fully into you. And I have to tell you, that was a transformative moment for me when I had to go and thank my allies for these 5 experiences. Now, when I first started to go over, I'm thinking, no way I'm ever going to find a reason to thank them for all 5 of these things. There's no way, right? And as I'm standing there in the other world with my allies around me, yeah, I could explain why those were the exact right things for me in those moments.
You couldn't do it this side of the bed?
I could. I didn't want to.
Okay.
What I realized once I got over there was I didn't want to be thankful for these things. But the fact of the matter was I had a lot to be thankful in these things. There's always a gift, right? There's always some vibrational benefit. There's always some correction that's happening to allow you to live your vibration more fully. The trick is to find it.
Does it seem like, for me, it's easier to look at the big picture?
Mm-hmm.
Like what, because life is a chain of events.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe even if I couldn't see that particular moment,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at the big picture, that I can see where this led to this, led to this,
Sure.
led to this.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
you need to do it that way. Yeah.
I mean, you can still do it individually,
Yep.
but when you look at the big picture, it can be kind of
Sure.
amazing, you know?
Right.
What about Sandy's fuzzy edges?
Right. I was going to say, I want to answer Sandy's question, and then I want to do some practical stuff for you to give you guys a little bit of chance to play with some of this. Okay? So, Sandy has told me, do you want to explain your fuzzy edges? Or do you want me to explain it?
You can explain it.
Okay.
You can explain my
So I know
fuzzy edges.
Sandy, obviously.
Right.
Sandy is energetically sensitive, energetically perceptive, and one of the things that she's asked me about in the past, or she's commented on, is that sometimes when she looks at people, they're kind of fuzzy, like they're not quite in focus energetically, right? It's like the edges are fuzzy. It's
Yeah,
like
the edges are fuzzy.
they kind of blur off, right? And then, and to me, like the image that I get when she talks about it is like a photo that's slightly out of focus, so that the edges kind of blur, right? And then other people she'll look at, and they're perfectly crystal clear, sharp, really in focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything's very clear edges. So you're asking, it has to do with the heart song? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It could, but not always. So if somebody is leaky, if they don't have a clear, defined energetic boundary, energetic container for their auric field, they can look fuzzy on the edges. Because it's like, instead of having a definite edge, this is where I stop and this is where everything other than me begins, it's like, it's kind of murky and gray and everything just kind of weeps and blends together, right? So you get that kind of fuzziness. That's one possible explanation. It's not the only one. I don't think it really has to do with the heart song unless you're perceiving where the heart song ends in its perfusion and where those areas that the heart song hasn't really reached still remain, right? I don't think that's what you're seeing. What I actually think you're seeing is this third option, which is not everybody has a really solid integration between soul and body. Right? For some people, part of their auric field isn't quite there. It doesn't really stay here in relationship with the body. They kind of drift. That soul hasn't really fully integrated into life here in relationship with this physical body.
That's interesting.
Why would that
That
be?
makes a lot of sense.
It's, let me come back. Let me finish this. So it's like, we talk about soul loss in shamanic communities, right, where part of the soul is kind of missing. And it can just, it's not really true soul loss, it's really more like soul drifting. You know, it's like part of the soul just doesn't really want to be here, isn't comfortable with being here, isn't comfortable relating to this physical body for some reason, or just never really keyed in to this physical body in this lifetime, right? When those chakras, when that little form was growing, and that little being was learning, the soul was learning how to move this physical body, part of the soul was like, man, I'm bored with this, or I don't want to be here, or man, not this again, right? I mean, you can think of all kinds of different reasons that the soul might go, yeah, I'm not staying around for this, or I'll check back from time to time. And so the soul kind of drifts. It doesn't really root in. It can also be that there was a traumatic experience somewhere in that growth, the lifetime of that, of that individual, where the soul became untrusting of this particular physical form. And so it's not here all the time. It kind of drifts. There's enough to keep that soul, that being animate, right? But they're really not fully here 100%, and 100% of the time they drift. All of us drift. I mean, when we sleep at night, when you dream, that's part of your soul is wandering. This is natural, and it's actually healthy. We actually need to dream to remain physically healthy. We go insane if we don't dream. So even if you don't remember that you're dreaming, if you're a healthy individual, you dream. Part of your soul, your hun, is meant to wander. This is natural. But it's also supposed to come back, right? But there are reasons why the soul can get disconnected or get lost or not come back entirely.
But that's a lot of conflict. I mean, because why should your soul think it has to be here? You know what I mean? I mean, if you're part here and part not here, I don't want to say who wins, but...
Well, that's right. I mean, there is conflict, and this is part of why there's often difficulty for that individual in this lifetime in being fully present in some way.
Because it seems
fully
like there's
showing
no
up.
right or wrong with that soul not being... I mean, it's uncomfortable, obviously.
It's very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for the soul as well as for the individual, who's trying to really function in this lifetime. There is healing work. There's clearly a wound. Something has happened that has prevented 100% integration, right? And so there's something that needs to be healed. Shamanically, we would go in and we would look and see what's the root of this, right? What needs to be done to allow this soul to be comfortable and at ease in relationship with this body in this lifetime. And you would do healing work for that, to allow that soul to fully show up. So I suspect that when you look at individuals and they're fuzzy, I suspect that's what you're seeing. But it could also be the empty boundaries. So start to pay attention and just kind of notice.
Okay.
Jen had a question.
I just have a comment. There's sometimes whenever I come out of astral projection that I feel fuzzy.
Fuzzy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's no other word to describe it, but it just feels fuzzy.
Right.
And then you do a little bit of grounding and...
Right. And it's kind of even hard to like maneuver. Like I've come out of deep shamanic
like
work.
I'm in slow motion.
Yeah. I've come out of deep shamanic work, and it's like trying to reach for my cup of water
It seems like it takes forever.
I like really have to focus, and that's when I know I'm not fully back, and I need to go back.
Well, it's like the other night,
calm myself down.
I'm saying I was like swimming to get out of the journey.
Because you went so deep, yeah. So there's an answer to your question.
Okay, thank you.
If she's looking at someone and they're fuzzy, and sees has a very strong sense of connection, would other people necessarily also detect that in that other person?
Depends upon how energetically sensitive they are. I mean, they might sense it in some way.
Because
like,
that person, let's say the person's sitting right here and very, very fuzzy to Sandy, and maybe I see that person crystal clear. That's okay? I mean, am I not as attuned to that person as she might be?
You might be seeing something else about them. You might be seeing them through a different lens.
Maybe our vibes are connecting more or
Okay,
less?
so the way we
lens.
perceive is specific to us. I don't see people as fuzzy like this. I see something else. This is Sandy's way of seeing it, is she sees them as fuzzy. So it may look very different to you.
Okay, got it. Exactly, I got it.
But it's probably not likely that it's going to look crystal clear to you. But you may. So for me, they look half empty. Like when I look at people like this, it's like I'm looking I can almost look through them. It's almost like they're not there, right? Like that typical classic ghost that you can look through. For me, that's how I perceive what Sandy's talking about, right? So I perceive it differently because the universe speaks to me through a different language than it speaks to Sandy.
It has to get to the very, almost the far end of fuzziness before I can feel like I can put my hand through people.
Right.
I wonder what shift it is in the soul, though, that makes it decide to fully integrate. You know?
The soul has to be at peace with being here in this lifetime and being in this physical body and being in the circumstances of
But you're
its
talking
life,
about a
so.
soul already that is not comfortable. So I
Right.
wonder what shift can happen.
It's different for each individual. I've done a lot of healing work like this for people, and it's different every time. There's no one thing that makes it go one way or the other. But this is a little bit off topic, but it's related. And since Sandy
But I
was
needed
very
this
patient
answer.
and she's asked me this question many times, it's very fitting.
need to know this.
But and it's we've gone a little deeper. We've gone a little past 101 work, so I was kind of confident that you guys would be okay
Still,
with
it's
this.
helpful.
So.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
helpful to have things that are
So,
off.
did you have another question?
Well, I was just curious how you describe how you see it. I always, it's kind of like a smell.
Yeah.
I told my friend about it, how I can smell like in the back of my nose.
Mhm.
It's kind of, I don't know, it's not a scent. It's not like, oh, you're sweet, but it's like, if someone is like bad,
Mhm.
and it's kind of a rotted,
Gives an
rotten,
odor.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they can be, attractive and
Mhm.
healthy looking and everything, but they
Right.
just have like that smell to me that's
Yeah.
just repulsive.
Mhm.
Or vice versa, they can be like Monica, for example, is
Right.
like cotton candy.
Right.
I mean, that like that, it's the
Right.
exact opposite.
Right. And that's that energetic vibration, right? Your energetic field and their energetic field, when they come into relationship, your energetic field says, I don't want any of that.
But it's me interpreting it as a scent
Correct.
instead
And
of a
you're,
visual thing.
for whatever reason, you're perceiving it through scent. Everybody perceives differently. Some people are very visual. Some people are very tactile, like they'll even feel repulsed, right? And some people are very auditory. They'll actually hear, step away. And then other people are very, could get it through scent. I have a friend who she actually perceives everything through scent. So this is just how she is. That's the way the universe speaks to you, right? Sandy sees this person as fuzzy. I see them as ghost-like, and you have some kind of olfactory sensation. And we're all seeing the same thing. It's just we perceive differently. We have the way the universe gives us instructions is differently because of our vibration, because of our vibrational field, because of our heart song, because of who we are in this lifetime. Okay?
I have a very dear friend of mine. He is an Indian shaman.
Mhm.
His name is Ted Reminger.
Mhm.
And he's sort of like an adopted dad. And before my dad died, he said, always kind of check in on Debbie and see how she is
Mhm.
from some traumatic event. And I can feel him like on those edges.
Mhm.
My dog will even like look like this. And then other people will come in my house because like my father passed away with cancer, my best friend across the street, and people will come in and go, oh wow, there are so many spirits, but it's very loving and peaceful. Debbie, you are surrounded, and I feel extremely blessed for this. People say it's almost like you come in my house, it's like a hug.
Right.
And even at one of our meetings, Ted, who is an Indian shaman, he was there. Mary and I were talking about this, and he actually had said exactly the last thing of something that was said at the Edgar Casey meeting, and Mary was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure, and I can't tell that to most people I know.
Sure.
It's only a certain set, but there's a whole lot of energy and spirits.
Absolutely. They're just energetic fields. They just don't have a body anymore. That's what a ghost is.
Well, Ted, who's an Indian shaman, is there on a regular basis.
Understood.
Like his wife said, you don't know. Ted is with you more than you think he is. And a lot of times it's like that edge of lining or like he's there, but he's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
You go ahead.
All right.
Probably get enough time.
So I want to get into some practical stuff here. So everybody, I want you to take your hands and rub them together. Rub them. Oh yeah. Make sure you get the little fingertips. Make sure they're feeling warm as well. Don't ignore them. All right. Maybe even make some circles with your hands. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? All right. Now take your hands kind of a ways apart, maybe a meter or so. You should be able to feel tingling in your hands, right? Okay. You just activated the chi centers on your fingers. So now I want you to kind of bring palm to palm, face them like this, and just start to bring your hands together. And at some point, just go real slow, and at some point you're not going to want to push. You're going to have to make extra effort to push your hands together. Can you feel that? You almost get like a heat in your palms, yeah? Or maybe the fingertips tingle a little bit more, right? And it takes a little extra effort to push it more strongly together, yeah? That's energy.
Wow.
That's soul force right there. You're perceiving the energy field around your hands. Okay? Now you can play with this.
Yeah.
Just kind of bounce your hands a little bit. Yeah, just bounce your hands a little bit. Just feel how it feels. Just play. You don't have to do it. It's okay if you don't want to. You don't have
I was
to.
thinking
You're
of
uncomfortable.
something that happened before where
Just
he was doing this
play.
in another group. but-
Just play with your hands. Just kind of feel how it feels to bring those a little bit closer. Can you feel the pressure in your hands? Can you feel the sensations?
Is my hair standing up?
Right? Just kind of bounce, bring them further away, and then bring them closer again. Just kind of feel the difference. Feel the energy. Now, you can see Miss Jen over here is moving a little bit further. So now, when you're comfortable with that, you want to just kind of start to work your way down your arm. Can you feel it if you move down towards your wrist and your forearm? Does it change the way you perceive the sensation? And again, just kind of bounce slightly so that you're further away and closer to your arm. Just kind of feel it as you go. Then you can take your hands and move them towards your chest. Can you feel it in your hands as well as your chest, or do you feel it only in your hands? Just move it along your body. What's your energy field you're feeling? That's your auric field.
Makes me think of the Tai Chi Chuan when I took it in the very late 70s. These are like those same feelings that I don't even think I even thought of back then.
Yep,
when I
that's
took
what.
that.
That's exactly right. Tai Chi Chuan activates your energy bodies. It activates the meridians through your body, but also through your auric field. And it helps to integrate soul and body, to make mind stronger and clearer. All right. So just kind of clear your hands off a little bit. All right. You can shake them down if you like, if that's easier. Now, I want you to turn to your nice, lovely neighbor and ask permission to just kind of feel their energy body. Okay? You guys can work together. I'm just giving an example. So then, just do what you just did. Rub your hands together and feel. And then just start to palpate. And just see if you can find their energy field. Go ahead.
Okay, your energy field.
Is that, can we do it at the same time?
Or you can go one at a time. Either way. Might be easier for you to go one at a time because that way you can, the person who's being felt, who's being palpated, can experience what that is like.
Sure.
And the person who's feeling can experience what that is like. Because it's a little different.
I feel different temperatures.
Okay.
It feels warm to me.
Okay. That's that's awesome.
Different parts of the body, I feel different temperatures.
Because different parts of her auric field are vibrating at different speeds and different rates, right? So that's what you're perceiving. If you're feeling different temperatures, that's very normal. You're just experiencing the different areas of the auric field. And they may be vibrating at different rhythms or different vibrations, different frequencies, causing the different temperatures. Slower energy is cooler, faster energy is warmer.
Wonderful energy.
Very good.
All right.
Very good.
When you're done, thank your partner. Did it feel different for you being in the two roles? One receiving somebody feeling you, and then one feeling it yourself? Okay. Any questions or?
Why do I seem to have so much tingling on the back of my hand and wrist, on this one in particular?
Did other people experience that as well, or no?
Even when we were doing the initially, this stayed like electric, like right here on the outside.
When I did it to myself, I did it when I did it to somebody else.
Okay. That may just be something unique to you. You may just have to track that and see what that significance is for you. But it may be that you are more sensitive. One of the ways that you read it is a sensitivity here, even though you're perceiving it here, right? Or, I mean, you're reading it here, but you're perceiving it here.
When we did it just by ourselves, even after it started diminishing here, it stayed
You can still
tingling
feel it.
here.
So after you had stopped perceiving the other person's energy, you could still feel it here?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? I
Yeah.
misunderstood. Okay. So then that's probably just residual energy moving still. And still part of your sensitivity, your energy just moving. So that's fine. Or it could be that, you just need to shake it off a little bit too.
Is there a point at which sometimes you just need to kind of recharge that? Because,
Sure.
okay, because like when I was doing Melissa, it's like I was feeling here, and then when I got a little lower, it was like everything went away. And I didn't know if I was missing something at that point, because I just had kind of lost the charge.
Maybe you can, if you're concerned that you've lost the charge, just stop, disengage, and warm up your hands again. Activate those energy centers. With experience, they'll stay active for you, right?
Okay.
But at first, as you're learning to do this, you may periodically need to just resensitize yourself. But it could also be that that layer of her energy field is different, and so it either has a different energy perception for you, and you hadn't quite keyed into what the perception was. Or it could be that it's closer to her body, and so you needed to actually come closer in to feel it again, right? Your energy field is around you, but it moves. It's not just like an eggshell that's always there. It moves and it shifts, right?
So
And
it's not like
it's
you think about an auric shape of that kind of egg shape.
It generally is, but it's not a perfect or eggshell orb. No.
Could it be that you feel more open, and as it gets into areas that are sensitive to you, that you yourself are blocking?
Could be that this area, you draw your energy field, you keep it a little tighter to you, and here you don't mind having it out a little bit.
Right.
It's very possible. Yeah, that's why I said it may be that you have to go a little bit closer, in that area to find the energy field. So we all wear our auric field a little differently.
I loved listening to Monica over here. She's like, you should be knocking over from touching me by now.
I said you should be a little zapped backwards
Yeah.
from getting my aura.
Well, and so, she's experiencing it very intensely, but the other person is still kind of learning maybe, and, maybe it takes her getting in a little bit closer before she really feels it. But this goes back to, hey, you're in that room and somebody comes up and steps a little too close and your auric field is like, this is a practice, so you had already made the agreement that it was okay. But there's a point at which your auric field says, get back. You can actually, have the experience of being around somebody and you're really uncomfortable and you decide to really stand solidly in your auric field and they will step back. They will step back.
Can you enhance the size of your field?
Is that a whoop?
Wait a minute now. You don't want to be rude and
But in terms of discomfort.
Yes, you can. You can, if you set your energy boundary and you set it solidly and you're feeling still uncomfortable, you can widen it out a little bit and expand it out a little bit.
Puff up your feathers.
Sure. Puff up your feathers. Yeah, sure. And like when I'm on airplanes, I have to draw it in. I have to draw my energy field in because otherwise I'm just it's too much noise. It's like everything's ricocheting off of me and I'm miserable the entire trip. So I actually will consciously draw my energy field in and keep it very tightly around me. And then when I'm off the plane, I let it relax out a little bit more, right? So absolutely, you can change that.
I let it go. I'm like, hey!
I've had the best
Yeah,
conversations on planes.
Right, yeah, so it's like, mine just expand.
No,
Where are you
me.
going?
All right. You up for one more kind of meditation on this? All right. I don't know what time it is. This
Doesn't matter.
doesn't give me that. Okay. We'll do one more. So
8:50.
it's 8:50. Ooh, yay! It's
We're on
only
time?
9 o'clock.
We're good?
We're good. So okay. Before I do this, well, no, let's do this because then we'll use the handout to bring us back. So I want you to have your feet on the floor, ankles not crossed, please. Just sit comfortably and close your eyes. And I want you to just take a couple deep breaths from your belly if you can and just let them out. And we've gotten to some really interesting conversation tonight and we've made some lovely connections energetically here in the group, but I want you to just let those go. Let your awareness of those go, and I want you to just come back into your own energy field. Just feel your center. Take those nice deep breaths, nice, deep and even from your belly, and just feel your breath as it moves through your body. And let your breath just come to a nice, comfortable rhythm. And feel your breath as it moves through your body. Draw your awareness back into that flow of expanding with the inhale and contracting with the exhale. And just be in that awareness for a while. Feel your body as it expands to allow the breath to come in, and as it contracts as the breath goes out. Just follow that sensation, that pulsation of breathing. You can feel your chest expand and contract. You can feel your ribs expand and contract. Expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. And with your next inhale, just bring your awareness slightly outside of your body. Just out on the outer ridge, out resting on the surface of your skin. And feel again the expansion with the inhale and the contraction with the exhale. Feel how even here the space moves, the energy moves, outward and expanding with the inhale, inward and contracting with the exhale. Just ride here in this pulsation, in this space just outside your body. This is your energy field. Feel the pulsation of inhale, expansion, exhale, contraction. And allow your focus with the next inhale to move a little bit further out, away from your body and deeper into your energy field. Let your breath continue to be even. And feel even here the expansion of the inhale, the contraction of the exhale. Feel your energy field as it pulsates with the breath. Just ride that pulsation. And with the next inhale, allow your awareness, your focus to shift again, a little bit further away from the body, a little bit closer to the edges of the energetic field. And feel here too the pulsation of expansion with the inhale and contraction with the exhale. Allow your energy to flow outward until you can't feel that expansion and contraction, or until it begins to diminish in your awareness. Find that edge of your energetic body, of your energetic field. And And see if you can find that edge as it flows all around the circle of your body. If you can become aware of that edge in front of you, to your right, behind you, to your left, and in front of you again. Continuing to breathe gently and evenly. And see if you can find that edge above you, behind you, below you. Riding that edge, riding the pulsation of expansion with the inhale and contraction with the exhale. This is your auric field. This is your energy body. This is your soul. Giving thanks to your soul for the beauty that it is. Allow your focus now with your next inhale to move again back towards the center of you, back towards the edge of your body, and back inside your body, back into your belly. Feel your belly and body expanding with the inhale and contracting with the exhale. And giving thanks to your body for the beauty that it is. Allow yourself now to follow the breath back into the physicalness of you. To feel arms and shoulders and knees and feet on the ground, and your bum gently on the seat. Gently come back into awareness of your physical self. And giving thanks for the beauty that you are, body, soul, and mind. Come back to normal awareness and open your eyes. Can you still feel the edge of your soul? This is a great practice for becoming aware of your boundaries, for becoming aware of your energetic field. Spending time with your energy field, moving out to its very edge, and just starting to learn what it is, what it's like, how it feels. Becoming aware of that edge all around you. You can even start to strengthen that edge with that awareness. And to just spend time in that container, right? Aware of it, moving with your breath. It's a great way to strengthen your energy body and your energetic boundaries. Okay? You can do it anytime.
You suggest that daily?
Absolutely, yeah. Daily is a great option if you can.
If you can.
Weekly is fabulous, you know.
You kind of just guide yourself through that meditation.
Mhm.
So you're not gonna be there
Right.
with us.
Just think your way through that, and that'll help you start to become more aware, and you'll start to notice things as you are in different spaces in your energy field. Just be aware of them. Just see what they are. Just just get to know your energy field. Yeah. And then as you'll become more and more aware of it, and you'll be able to hold that awareness of it in just your ordinary life much more easily. And you can start to see what that's like for yourself and how that changes things for you. Yeah. All right. All right. So I have a handout here that I gave you. And I'm not going to go all the way through it, but these are basically some books to continue in your energetic pursuits. The first section is mainly on energetics and the energy body. Berger's energetic anatomy, which I have here, is just awesome. It's just really fabulous to take you through all the different aspects and layers of the energetic body. Discusses the chakras as well. It's great. The classic, of course, is Charles Ledbetter's Man, Visible and Invisible. It's written in a very old-styled English, so it's a little bit challenging, but if you want the master, that's the one that everybody starts with. And Carolyn Myss, of course, is very well known, Anatomy of the Spirit. It was her first book. The Polarity Process, which I also have here, is also really fabulous. Again, takes you through the different aspects of the energy body and gives you practices for building your energy body as well. Books on vibrational healing. I know you're not necessarily all interested in doing healing work, but there's a lot of really helpful information just in becoming energetically masterful.
Question?
Yeah.
The vibrational healing now, if we were to delve into this,
Mhm.
could we, I'm not interested in doing a practice
Right.
for healing, but would
Right.
that work be also pertinent for me to do for myself?
Absolutely. It does give you practices that you can do on yourself, but it also really takes you much deeper into an understanding of your energy field. And so, like I said, it just really helps you to become more energetically masterful of yourself, right? Arnie Lade's Energetic Healing is great. Richard Gerber's A Practical Guide to Vibrational Medicine is more an exploration of the different types of vibrational medicine that are out there, but there are some interesting practices that are in it as well. Let's see. The Randolph Stone books, Polarity Therapy, they're basically a compilation of somebody's notebooks, of a practitioner's notebooks, so there isn't necessarily a lot of explanation of what you're seeing. But if you want something to really work with intuitively, his books are fabulous. And I included a book here, The Healing Power of Color, because obviously color is also about vibration, just like sound is. And right now I don't have anybody scheduled to come in and talk about color. You're going to get a sound healer, so I didn't necessarily include any of this. But this book is a really great kind of primer on color as vibration as well, and how you can work with color for healing, but also for strengthening your own energetic field. And then the last one, I don't know what kind of reading list Lucy might bring in when she does her talk next month on April 9th about the chakras. So I included some books on the chakras here. Again, Ledbetter's is the classic. It's old style English, so it might be a little bit difficult at times. And then Rosalind, it's Anadea Judith's book, Wheels of Life, is a book. It's very well done. It's very popular. It's very accessible. So it's a great one. All right. Any questions? All right.
Yay.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was awesome. And thanks, Dawn, for this lovely space. Yeah. And so the next meeting again is April 9th, Lucy Morwin with the chakras. And then, like I said, May is going to be a Qigong master. And then June will be the sound healer. And then I'll do Feng Shui in July to kind of bring to conclusion this little section on energy and energetics of life.
And
So-
we'll update the website
Yep.
and the meetup.
Yep.
For you guys so that you can get everything on your calendar.
Right.
So.
All right. So we give thanks to this space. We give thanks for this opportunity to come to this circle. We give thanks for the wisdom shared here this night, for the light, the energy, the life force that danced with us this night. And we give thanks to the sacred three and the dance of life. Go in peace and blessed be. Shanae.